What's really good? What's really good? Ah, today we got a really interesting topic to talk about today. I'm just gonna be real with you. Today's stream is going to be short. I had a little situation come up, and I didn't want to cancel on y'all. I like to at least give y'all 30 minutes. I don't like to cancel on my gold members, and I won't cancel on my gold members if I got to stream it from my phone somewhere, just to make sure we're good and make sure everybody got what they got. Real quick, want to send a big shout out to my guy Parker that's doing all of our graphics and doing a really good job at our graphics. If you need graphics, he take care of me. He's definitely gonna take care of you. So I want to make sure that you're good. Everybody in here, I got a few people in here real quick. Make sure you check him out if you need it. Don't forget, if you want to use that, if you're a gold member, you actually don't need that. Let's be real. You don't really need that if you're a gold member. Um, you don't need it. If you're not a gold member, I'll say it for you. Save 15% on all courses and contracts by using the promo code LIVE15. That's live15 together is one word. All right, let's get it in. We don't even got a roll intro because if you're a gold member, you know what it is. Listen, one of the best things that I love about being a boss, about being the boss, is the ability that I have to say no to certain jobs. And there are certain jobs that I am just not. I'm not doing, fam. It's not gonna happen. There's just certain jobs that I'm just not going to take. And you know, I just want to be real with you. I just want to be 100 with you. I just want to be very honest with you. There are certain jobs that I'm not going to deal with, and a lot of times it's based off the client and based off their ability to provide what they need for me to be successful on their job. And it's something I want to kind of touch and talk about and make sure that make sure that we talk about it real quick. If you're in the audience and you want to jump on here for this quick 30-minute video, boom, bang, pow, there's the link. Just want to make sure you all got it. So I require my clients to have a certain level of preparation before we can do business. There are certain things they need to do in order for us to have what we need so that we can provide a successful project. And that's something you will learn over time. As you build your business, you will learn what information you need, because you'll get a lot of clients who take the idea of you being turnkey to a whole nother level where they don't feel like doing nothing. They just want to let you do it and let you figure out. But you need to make sure you get some level of direction from them so that you can provide them with a product that is usable. I myself have a list of questions and a questionnaire that I usually go through via the phone just to talk to people, just to have an understanding of what we need. If I can't get that from you, we can't move forward. If you don't know, you haven't figured it out. If you're like, well, hey, we'll see. I don't move forward. If you're the type that likes to wing it, I really don't even do bullet points anymore. I request very detailed bullet points. And then I make sure that if we do bullet points, that the client understands that they have 15 to 30 seconds to cover each bullet point. Like there is a time limit for that bullet point. Sometimes you get clients that want to just yap. They want to just yap, yap, yap. And they don't, they're not, it's not a good look because you will continue to run until you are just out of space and you have to go back and try to piece that stuff together. It's not going to happen. So the benefit of being the boss is you don't have to deal with that. You got to learn how to say, nah, B, not me. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We're not doing it that way. This is definitely not going to happen. We're going to find a way to figure this out before we go into production. Just like companies don't go into movie productions without scripts, I'm not moving forward without the information that I need to be successful. And it's something that you have to make sure that you are fully aware of when you're working with the client and y'all trying to figure things out. Clients have to be willing to give you as much information as possible. What I usually do is I usually have clients send me examples, right? If you don't know what you want, send me an example. Let's talk. Send me an example of the type of footage that you're looking for. Send me an example of the type of video that you have in mind. Send me some type of example. And I want that example so that we can start and go from there. And clients who do that, we can typically get within the ballpark, or at least I have an understanding of what it is you're trying to do with the budget that you have. So clients who can't give me that, I won't just say, okay, they're going to give me $500. I'm going to show up. Okay, it don't work like that for me. Those are clients that I call a no-go because they have not given me what I needed to be successful. And it's very important that we have that. So I want to make sure that you as a business owner, you know that sometimes you have to say no to those clients. Sometimes you have to tell those clients, nah, B, not happening. Right. So that's one case in which you'll get clients that you have to say no to. Now, depending on who you are morally, politically, it's up to you if you want to say no to certain things and certain clients. That is up to you. I have shot both sides of the political party, and I have filmed some political sides that seemed like they were just on the other side of the world as far as what was coming out of their mouth. And it was to the point where I was like, really? That's how you feel? And they were uncomfortable. And I wasn't trying to make them uncomfortable. I was trying to film it because that's what they hired us to do. And oftentimes with my company, they hire us and don't know, they don't know what color I am. They just, they hire us. So we show up, we get the job done, and it's all business. But you may have a level at which you don't want to participate in. I mean, you may show up or be hired to film some stuff, and you're like, nah, I'm not doing it. This ain't what we do. And that is up to you. That is a part of your culture, your guidelines, and those are things you need to put in place as you build your business from day one, right? You got to build your culture and build what your business is about so that those guidelines will stay in place throughout your company. Those guidelines will be what it is, and your company will have a great understanding, or those who work in your company will have a great understanding of what that is. And I mean, there's certain things, if you work for a company, there's certain things you can't do, right? There's certain things you can't do. There's certain things you cannot do within that company that you personally don't have a problem with doing. However, that company may not be having it. So, those are things that you got to keep in mind as you build your brand, as you build your company. Those are things that you have to keep in mind, and you need to write. You need to make sure you notate them, and they are a part of your brand culture. It's very important that your clients know that. Let me make sure you guys and things are popping up. Make sure everything's popping up on the channel like it should be, because there should be a section that says current lives. Sometimes that don't pop up, and sometimes people have problems finding a live. Now it is a section. Boom. Okay, that's cool. So those are things that those are things that you have to put in place as you're building your culture. You're building your business culture and your brand. Those are things that you have to set in stone, and they start with your views and opinions as the CEO, as the business owner. They start with your views and opinions. You carry those, or your brand will carry those characteristics with you as far as you go. Now, there are some things that will come across your desk that is just a no-go, period. And a lot of that has to do with certain things that you feel fishy, scams, things like that. Customers are asking about, who do you accept credit cards through? What? Why does that matter? Or, hey, I got a check from my cousin wrote it in Africa. Can I have him write it to you? Nah, bro, I'm not doing it. So those are things that you want to be mindful of as you go into business, and you will learn about things that are too fishy. I've had a lot of companies contact me from overseas. They want to pay in weird ways. They wire the money, I'll shoot it, because there is no way you can get some type of fraud unless you wire some back. If they wire you a certain amount of money and you sit on it and say, okay, anytime we get a wire transfer from out of the country, we got to get it 30 days in advance so that the bank um, can investigate. You know what I mean? So that the bank can investigate and you know, you know, look at it and things like that. Um, those are things. Those are things that you need to work on and make sure you have in place um, before you accept the job. All right. Make sure everybody's on here. Boom. Those are things that you gotta know. Gotta know. All right, we got two people in, and let me make sure. Let me put my headphones on. Like I said, this is gonna be a really, really, really short one this week. I don't mean to cut it short, but it's gonna probably be about a total of another 20 minutes. What's going on, fellas? Make sure I can hear you guys, because as of now, I cannot.
What's going on, boss?
What's up? What's
How's
up?
the living?
Man, another day, another dollar. Just trying to keep it clean.
Well, the way that it is nowadays, it's 67 cents off of that dollar.
That's right. That's true. That's before taxes too. After taxes, it get even worse. So right now we're just kind of talking about just clients and situations where you're not going to accept certain businesses. And a lot of people forget that they are bosses, they're CEOs, they're businesses, and they have the ability to say no. They have the ability to cultivate and create that culture where certain jobs you may not do, and everybody's different. Like, there's some guys that will shoot everything. They will shoot baby sacrifices. They don't care if the check clear, they are there. And there are certain guys that won't shoot certain things for political purposes or whatever. It's important that you set that boundary in the beginning with your business based off your niche and your culture. So those are things that you have to think about as you build out this business to be bigger than yourself. And you kind of, I've had people add those things in their facts section and their website. Hey, do you guys shoot this? Nope. Certain type of weddings. Some people was against certain religious weddings or whatever. That's your thing. You have the right to do what you want to do, but you want to make that clear. Just as clear as if you got a Chick-fil-A in your area, they're not open on Sundays. That is their owner's religious belief, and we just don't get chicken sandwiches on Sundays. Like, it is what it is. And what's crazy is they spent a ton of money putting Chick-fil-A's in like the Atlanta Falcons football stadium. But guess what? They play football on Sundays. So every other event in the world they can cover except the main event that the facility was built for. But the owner spent the money. They're paying rent. That's on them. They got to eat it. But it's just something that owner is high on. They stand by and they stick to. And you as a company, as a business owner, has to put down kind of the same law within your business. Do you guys have you guys run across any clients so far that you have been like, nah, I'm good?
I guess I'll go first. So I haven't had one yet, but I was curious about a situation that could pop up. Say, for example, where you talk to the client, and then the client, they say they've been in for, like you said, 30 years, and they know everything from the game and everything like that. And you try to, explain to them, okay, cool, you're going to need more digital content to bring in more customers.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things I have right now is they said they need more employees. I was like, okay, that's easy. We could just take a picture of a waitress because he needs servers and stuff like that. Take a picture of that and then be able to post it and then say, hey, we're hiring for this. And then you could put the criteria for that. That's easy.
Yep.
But I was trying to see, like, I saw that he didn't have his website up to date, didn't have any of his social media and stuff. And he said he was doing good, but I was like, right now is the best time for you to open it because in Florida, everything is open. So with that, I was just trying to explain to him, hey, it's a good time to have a call to action. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and get those holiday deals and everything. It's like a Mexican restaurant, and it's kind of slowed down sometimes. But this would be a good time to have that call to action. So I was trying to suggest that to him, but he was everywhere. So my question is basically, if some, in further future endeavors, say for example, I have a client that is paying and they don't want to hear what I say, is is it good to say no, or is it just more of a personal preference? Because I feel like I should just do the video, and then if it goes bad, say, hey, I try to suggest this to you, and then try to do it over.
Oh yeah, that's easy. Let me make it clear. Take their money, and make it clear to the client that this is not what we suggest. Our goal is to help solve the problem and provide a solution. However, if this is what you have in mind, we will film it to the best of our ability. And I usually provide a proposal with what they've requested and a proposal with what we've requested. And I'm gonna tell you, 75% of the time, they end up paying us twice. They end up paying us twice, and that's cool. I'll take that money. I'll take double up. Because often it's just like if you go to a mechanic and you say, oh man, my car making this ticking noise, and the mechanic is saying, hey bro, your lifters are bad or your head gasket's bad, and you're like, well, just put some stop leak in there, man. Just try to stop it with that, man. We're just gonna try to go that route. And they're like, well, we really think you should spend, the $1,800 to get this fixed, because we can't guarantee the stop leak is gonna fix your problem. We really need to replace this, or you're going to have an issue. Oh man, let me do that, and we're gonna just go from there. Okay, you gonna pay me? I'm gonna put it in there. But I make sure that on any type of paperwork that I'm providing, that's why paperwork is important and contracts are important. You stipulate that this is what we advised, this is what the client wanted, we did what the client wanted. Because when they come back and it backfire, and they're gonna start to look at exactly what you said, and they're gonna come back with that dollar amount. They're gonna come back like, it didn't work. You said it's gonna be 2,500. Here's 2,500. Let's do it that way. And a lot of it comes with, the more you become a subject matter expert in your niche, the more you have more case studies and a lot of stuff to show, hey, this is what we do all day, every day. I know what I'm talking about. The less kickback you'll have from clients. So that's why niche is important, because if you can show him 8 other restaurants you've worked with that has had a similar problem that you've fixed, they will fall right in line. They will fall right in line. So it's something that is, it's something that comes with time. And as you build a website that's full of studies, it's just like if you're going to do surgery, if you're going to do plastic surgery, and you go to a doctor and it has they got a page full of before and afters, you're not going to question them, right? You're not going to say, but I want to do, you're not going to question them. But if you don't have none, you may question him, because you don't have enough social proof to help you believe exactly what he said. You know what I mean? So it's important that you develop social proof, and social proof will also provide value as to why you're expensive and why you're an expert. Without that, it's just like, I'm gonna give you an example. If I started this channel and I had my intro, though it's 30 seconds, is so important because it shows me in 50 different scenarios, right? It showed me in the military doing video. It showed me in 50 different places, right? It shows me doing so much stuff that by the time you watch that quick intro, you're like, okay, this guy shoots video, obviously. He's done some stuff. So what I say after that holds a little bit more weight than if I just say, hey, trust me, I'm a video guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just difficult to do. So you want to make sure that this is why niche is so important. And a lot of people who are pushing the idea of being a content creator without a strong niche, it's difficult for them to show value, land jobs. It's difficult for them to tell you how to do it other than something vague, like you got to market, bro. You got to network. Screw all that. Listen, if you got a niche, you can determine who your client is and you can walk in the door and go get them. If you have case studies to provide them with enough value and understanding that you know what you're doing. And to build those case studies is beta testing, right? And that's why even when you beta test, you go and talk to a client and you say, hey, I'm trying to test out a new product. Like, really don't even give a client a chance to really say, this is the video I want. You go to them and say, I'm testing out a new product. What are some of the problems that you're having? And let me provide a cinematic solution for that problem. Don't tell me what type of video you want. Because honestly, and this is just something I would say to myself, I don't care. My goal is to find out the problem that all y'all dentists are having, so that I can provide a solution that will heal that pain point. I don't care what kind of video you want, because if you know what I'm saying, when you go to your doctor, you ain't gonna tell them what kind of prescription you want. You're gonna tell them the pain. You ain't gonna say, man, give me some I seen a commercial for such and such. Your doctor be like, bro, you don't even suffer from that. Like, why would I give you that? You know what I'm saying? You don't have a back issue, you got a foot issue. You need insoles. You need to see a podiatrist. You don't need shots in your back. Like, you don't need back surgery. Like, the way you walk is why your back is messed up. You know what I'm saying? That is what we need to address. We don't need to go and give you medication to fix your vertebrae. Like, that don't make any sense. So, those are things that, as you get case studies and as you develop and have proof, you'll be able to walk in and they won't have any kickback or fight on what your capability is. So I would still do the job, but just make it clear to the client that, hey, this is what we think, this is what you should do, what we think you should do to be successful. However, I will be more than happy to do it your way because you're hiring me. And sit back and wait. Sit back and wait. Now, what would help right now instantly is, like I said earlier, if you had case studies and if you had stuff from beta testers, like, hey, this was a client we worked with that wanted to bring in employees. We took some great images, posted some key points as to why they should hire, put a QR code in the bottom so people can scan it, or a call to action so that they can apply, and their apply rate went up by 30%. You know what I'm saying? If you have information like that, then you would have the ability to convince that client. So my bad on a long-winded answer, but I've been there before, and proof is everything. What's going on, fellas? We got Rodney back home. We got Mike. We got Marvin. Marvin still on the sun. That background that's the best background. You look good and warm and toasty. So,
hey, to help out Mr. Journeyman as well, in addition to, or in place of, if he doesn't have those cases to validate his expensiveness and everything else, would testimonials be a good substitute for that? Doesn't have access to those to what you were talking about.
Definitely. Testimonials should be a part of your beta testing as well. Yeah, definitely. Just a testimonial, like if you look at the testimonials on my page, like they are very targeted, right? I don't want testimonials that say, oh, we work with Ty and FlashFilm Media and they was good. I don't want that. It's not working for me, right? I don't want them to say, we work with this company and they gave us the best price. No. My testimonials are targeted. There's one of my testimonials where he say, hey, we shopped these guys. They weren't the cheapest, but they provided the best for, you know what I'm saying? They had the best expertise. Or, hey, they came out and shot a video for us that went viral. They guided us through how to create content that helped us book 10 times more clients. Or, if you look at the one that I did with Massage Envy, she says, hey, our stuff was last minute. We needed a team that could come in, that can look at our itinerary and build something around what we had that worked. So my testimonials are all targeted for a reason, and they overcome objections that people may have who may want to do business with us. None of them talk about direct price or being cheap. No one say he gave us the good price. No, I don't want those testimonials because I'm not here to be the cheap guy. I'm here to offer something at a high level. And companies that they're ready to get it right will contact us to do business.
Yeah. And back when I used to do more events and music stuff, and there was someone that approached me for doing adult films, and I declined that. Yeah, for sure.
Wow. Everybody's looking at you like you crazy.
No, it's okay. Wait. We didn't hear the end. He said it was a guy, though.
I remember that you asked the question as far as like turning down certain projects that don't fit within like what you would feel like your brand would be doing. Yeah, but that's one example that came up. That was earlier this year, actually.
I've had people approach me to do that as well, and there's times though I've turned it down. I was, you know,
At times.
there's times.
Yeah,
It depends on
that sounds suspect, man.
during COVID. Hey, during COVID, hey, anything is possible. Anything. I mean, to each his own. I know guys who that's all they do, and they don't. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about lighting. They just like, yo, it pays. I know content creators, and no BS. I know content creators that make $300,000+ a year filming adult films. Now that you've heard that, it don't sound that bad. You know what I'm saying? And
I can kind of think about it.
they're in all of their and they're like they're not shooting with Reds, Alexas, none of that crap. They got like a T2i, an iPhone 6 by a pool, by a pool full of women all day, and that's their life. And they make $300,000, $250,000 a year, and they show up with like one light and like a stock 18 to 55 lens, and they just go for it. Like, I mean, but I'm not knocking it. It's just not for me. Not all the time.
All right.
If you see a FlashFilm adult, FlashAdultFilm.com. Hey,
FlashFilm XXXXX.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I do have a no moment, but I think I already told about it last week. About the one that I met on Tinder. So I had to say no after that. But with that, it gave me an understanding of where my borderline is to say no.
You're gonna get tested in this industry, bro. You're gonna get tested in this industry. They're gonna be like, I've had some people ask me to film some stuff. Listen, I had a phone call and it was a guy like, yeah, me and the boys down and we got a meeting down here in our horses. We need you to come down here and film this whole stuff hanging out the back of our 4x4. And I was like, wait a minute.
Where are you at again?
I'm in Texas. What color y'all gonna be? We're gonna be wearing all white now. We're gonna be wearing all white, and I just got the brand new, and then the Super Dragon is gonna get his rank. And I was like, wait a minute.
Are you serious?
I was like, can I cover my face? Because I don't think y'all want me to.
You're gonna be like Dave Chappelle.
Being that boy like these, like, and action.
Oh my gosh.
Hey man, like, I was like, nah, I'm gonna pass on that. We got a bunch of pickup trucks, and we got some wood and some gasoline, and I was like,
I count this full, buddy. Sorry.
I'm gonna pass on that, buddy. I'm gonna pass on that. We out here making America great. I was like, all right, now let y'all do y'all thing, but the filming conditions don't seem right. But I ain't gonna miss that money. I do got somebody on the staff I can send out. We gonna, as long as that check clear, he look more of the type that'll fit in, and we gonna send him. So it is what it is, man.
Adapt and overcome.
Adapt and overcome. Flexecution.
I bet you did flexecute.
It was a nice check. It was a real nice check.
Wow.
So.
Yeah,
somebody said, Poet Glass had a different type of boys in the hood film. You're right. Content is king. But you're gonna get people call you up for stuff, and you have to draw the line. That's something you got to think about that you haven't thought about, because you're gonna get one of them calls when it's slow and Christmas is coming, and you're like, you're like. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be whatever side you own politically, you're going to get the other side call.
Right.
We need you to come on down. And you got to think of it like this. So, like, for me as a former combat photographer, there was times where like Trump was in the city, and because I was a combat photographer, regardless of what side I'm on, they were like, look, you got experience. We can't really find photographers that we can trust, that has like a secret clearance, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, we would love to, have you out to the event to cover it. And, if you're a super political person, you like, heck no. But if you are a photographer and you don't care, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, the check gonna be nice. If you get a government check, you gonna pay off a car, right? You're gonna pay off a vehicle.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to say, in the military, we're taught to respect the position before we get political. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's rank.
Right.
So it is what it is. But it just depends. You may be like, nah, I'm good. You know, Michael, it's on you. You raise your hand, so it's you. You get full
You know,
screen.
well, no,
You
don't
get
need
full.
full screen.
You get full
Don't
screen.
need full screen. Oh, but yeah, it's basically respect the rank, not the person.
Correct.
That's all.
Exactly. Even they might not respect the rank themselves or the office still.
Facts.
I cannot confirm or deny these allegations.
Cue music. Hey, real quick, before I forget, the whole testimony thing and what was the comment I had made talking about social proof. So if you're in the situation of doing the testimonial and you're not able to or to that person or business's location, how do you feel about them in your testimonial and posting the testimonial on your site, even though
Okay. Maybe I'm having audio issues from you.
Nah,
He broke
can't
up.
hear me either. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's happened to me too.
So I'm assuming you said, how do you feel about the client filming
Was
the
that me?
testimony of themselves and then posting it?
right. Well, no. So you can't make it there either because of distance, COVID, or whatever the case is. They basically record the testimonial, and then they send you the link to it or send you the file. How do you feel, even though it may like phone call with a green screen background or something? And as long as the content is like, hey, look, something equivalent to have on your page as far as what the customer actually said. How do you feel about posting it, even though the quality itself might not be that great?
So I'm gonna let you go one second, but real quick. So for me, I don't mind if they shoot it in their cell phone, but they're gonna send it to me so that I can edit it before it goes up, because I like to have a certain look and feel with all of my testimonials, regardless of how it was shot. My music is the same. My lower thirds is the same. My intro is the same, and I usually end with a call to action that is a visual cue. So they won't at any time get to just post anything. Because I usually want to chop it up and keep it like 60 seconds. But cell phone footage doesn't backfire. It doesn't hurt. In fact, in some cases, it makes it more official. But I think you had a question, Jamal. You had a question?
Thank you.
More of a statement. It's kind of like, if you really think about it, doing that testimonial. I don't know if you remember John's barbecue foot massage. It was the most horrible looking video ever, but it was very catchy. In that, with that, he was able to get a lot of content, a lot of customers from that, because they was like, "What is this?" If y'all don't remember, it's kind of a song, "Just barbecue foot massage."
Where was that at, man? In the South somewhere?
No, it's actually in Chicago. It's in Chicago. Yes,
They do barbecue and foot massage.
Look up John's barbecue, and foot massage, and see the commercial for it.
Now.
But
just real quick, if you have a business idea, if you're looking at what you got in front of you right now and you think it ain't gonna make it, go look at John's barbecue and foot massage, and I'll be damned if your idea ain't you got to just put some effort behind it. I hope it ain't the same people cooking the barbecue that's touching your feet.
But
I'm not even sure.
Oh
They
my!
need to change their gloves.
And he's got chickens out there and a guy in a purple dinosaur outfit. Oh, I'm posting.
Yeah, and the commercial is pretty bad.
Think of it like this, and I'm gonna use a situation that we all can relate to, just right here and now. If I had a polished shot of somebody saying, "Oh, I took Ty's course and it was great. We loved it and it was awesome." Or if I put Michael full screen and he told you, "Man, I took the course. It was dope. I loved it," you would believe him more than you would with a super polished video shot, right? Because it's realer. You know what I mean? And it's not a super crazy studio lit, extra perfect. You know what I'm saying? Video where it's more of a commercial. You want testimonials to be as real as possible. You want them to be the ultimate reality TV. So it's something to definitely think about. GMO Productions want to answer this question real quick. Says, what are your thoughts on family holiday portraits as a niche? Okay. I typically stay away from family portraits altogether because it is the most saturated part of photography. However, there is a way to be successful at that. And that's if you provide something very different within the family portrait section. So if you do funny pictures or situational pictures, or you do something where it's just crazy. I've seen some great pictures where they throw balls at dogs and they all look like they're smiling and ready to bite it. It's just different. You got to have a completely different take on family portraits. Doing a shallow depth of field or a bunch of people grouped together in white shirts and jeans, barefoot in the grass is no longer going to cut it. And as you can see, I mean, just look around you, right? In the 1980s, everybody and their mama had JCPenney style pictures. Like, it was a thing. It was, even if you wasn't married, there were couples that was in relationships that still went out and took pictures. It's just not a thing no more. It's just not a thing no more. So unless you offer something very unique, and I've seen stuff like, I've seen guys do kid portraits where they dress up as like superheroes and they Photoshop the background and they look like they're flying, like something like that. Then family portraits will work. If you're doing traditional pose shots in somebody's living room in front of a Christmas tree, it is possible, but it's going to be possible at the bare minimum because there's no value to offer in something that everybody's doing. So I would not, it wouldn't be the first choice for me if I want to do less jobs and make more money, because you're competing with a lot of people because it's so saturated, and 99.9% of them aren't in the idea of business. They aren't in business for business. They're just trying to lowball the price to make some extra change. So I personally wouldn't go in that direction. Yeah. I don't care what you do different. If you do, y'all throw confetti in the air and y'all smile and take a picture. If you do something crazy like that, anything different, you will see something away from that boring, typical solid.
Your audio just kind of dropped, Ty. I'm not sure.
Make sure we in this thing right here. Hold on. Okay. Make sure we
It sounded like you were dropping some deals, but we missed you.
Oh, they got the commercial. Oh, that's bad. Let me go to the full screen with that. That's his face. The chicken don't even look good. It don't even look well lit. This guy's sick.
But it works.
I seen that. I thought it was a joke.
Deliciousable.
The beak, the feathers, we'll fry candy bars. All that European stuff that you don't really normally eat, we'll bring it down here and fry it for you. Ask McDonald's to fry something other than what they normally fry. Guess what you're going to get? Nothing. If it fit through the dough, I'll put it in the fryer. Hell, this is a dinosaur. All our meats are gently tenderized to their optimum deliciousness. We got 5 dinosaur meats. Took my money.
Wow.
Pay child support. Come on down here and get you a slice. Once they get your social security number, it's motivated.
Wow. Well, you can do anything. You put your mind to it.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, he made a lot of money from that. A lot.
Quick change of subject. I don't mean to, but as gold members, I give y'all a heads up. I got a video coming. Remember, I don't know if y'all ever seen the video where I explain why I sold the FS5. I don't know if you ever seen that video. I talk about why I sold. It's like one of my highest videos. It got like 80,000 views. Why I sold my FS5 to go buy a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. I'll just say part 2 of that video is coming because we about to move some other stuff to. Remember, I told you I don't be loving these bodies, man. They gotta go.
Glass. That's all.
I don't love. It's all about the glass.
Date the body, marry the glass.
I'll be like, look at that glass, all that glass. I'll be, you know what I'm saying? I don't be in love with the bodies, man. The bodies, they go quick. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to keep that in mind.
True meaning of catch a body.
That's right.
What'd you say?
Catch one on Craigslist.
True meaning of catch a body.
Sure. I be flipping everything.
Oh my goodness.
But let me get back to the subject because I got another text, so I got about another 20 minutes. I told people I'm on the way, and I ain't on the way. They ain't gold members, so they won't know. So, yeah, so, you know, you got to make sure you draw the line. Make sure you got some type of conscious when it comes to your brand and your business, and you got that set in stone. It's about building your culture or your brand right now, because when you bring on people, freelancers or whoever you hire, you outsource, you want to make sure they understand that culture so that they can represent it well. I've been in situations where I was like, do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? And there are some times where I'm like, nah, I'm good, bro. I ain't hurting that bad. So something to think about it. Okay. I think somebody posted something, GMO. Group selfie shots took over the world. Yeah, cell phone cameras have eliminated, and listen, I say this all the time. I mean, people look at me like I'm crazy, but I promise you, the iPhone is going to eliminate even more photography jobs. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. Yeah, I buy a lot of EF mount glass because I can adapt it to everything. That's just me. I do have some Sony glass. I have some Micro Four Thirds glass. I like EF, but you know, you got to see what's coming when it comes to technology. You got to be able to shift with that technology, and that shift is going to happen with your ability to solve a problem and tell a story. If you focus on that as much as you focus on shooting great content or great videos, you will be a beast. Frozen, it's on you, bro.
When you sit down to talk with a client you haven't worked with before, how do you typically start the conversation?
Okay, so you typically start the conversation based on why you were brought there. So let's say I had a client that says, you know, we need a training video. Right? They just say we're looking for a company to do training videos. Perfect. Now I'm gonna tell you what the average company is gonna say. Do you guys have a script? You know, what do you want to shoot? That's not how I go in it. I go in it trying to understand why you need a training video. Hey, what made you guys decide that right now is the time to pull the trigger on a training video? You know, that's important, right? The reason why that's important is because that's going to reveal their pain point. They think a training video will solve their problem. Multiple training videos may be, or a live session is what they may need. But I need to understand the why behind why I was called. Because a lot of times, this is what you're going to unveil, right? When you open that onion up one layer at a time, you're going to realize that the problem is usually way more severe than they've let on. Just like when you go to the doctor, like it has to hurt to a certain point where you're like, all right, doc, look, I'm here, man. Like I'm hurting, you know? So my job is to find out how deep is that pain point. And often I'll give you an example. I've worked with I was a janitorial company. I'm trying to think of the name of the company. I forgot the name of the company, but they had a contract with, with the 2 major airports in this area. And they needed training videos because 2 reasons. One, they were turning over a lot of people because people were going through orientation and training, and then they were getting there like, yo, this ain't what y'all said. This is a whole lot more work than what y'all was talking about. So we wanted to make sure that one, we had an orientation. One, we had a video, and it's funny because they just contacted us about a training video, and from learning that, I wanted to make sure that the employment video, the video that they advertise on their employee website, show actual footage of what the job was going to be, right? It showed actual images of the job detail. And it was crazy because like one of the jobs, they had to clean like the runway, right? They had to clean literally the runway that the planes land on. Like one of the jobs had to drive an RV around and clean the runway. And everything like on the landing strip and the landing area. So not just inside the airport, but they were doing things on the ramp and taking out trash and driving trash trucks around. And I wanted to make sure that their video showed that, because people just thinking I'm gonna be sweeping, behind some seats at an airport, and there's way more to it. So that was one thing I ended up having, or ended up creating for them, because they didn't have that in mind. All they had was just training videos. The second thing I had was orientation video, a video to be shown at an orientation to kind of talk about what's to come, what the company standards are, what the company believe in, and their culture was going above and beyond. So like on their orientation video, we shot a lot of stuff where a guy was getting up to get his bag, and he left his cell phone on the seat, and a guy was sweeping, and he got the cell phone and kind of chased him down like, hey bro, you left your phone. Really showing them go above and beyond in that position. Like it was about integrity. So that was the part of their culture that they wanted to establish in the beginning in the orientation. Then we shot training videos. Now, because their staff is bilingual, they have people that speak Spanish, people that speak English, they had an instructor that they were paying, or they were setting up to pay to fly in to teach the course. And we scratched that and went with more of a voiceover and B-roll style course, so that we can shoot it once and then have it in multiple languages. So instead of having a guy talk like, yo, blah, 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 and then we got to overdub him like a karate movie, we ended up just showing B-roll of someone maybe showing the device that they're using, or the vacuum cleaner, and they're using the vacuum cleaner. And then we got bullet points, and then we're playing audio. And I was able to take that one video and make an English, a Spanish, and I think we did another version. I forgot what language, but we ended up doing 3 different language videos out of this one video that were uniform across the board. Now, mind you, this client hired me just to shoot a training video. They hired me to film one guy who was going to come into town, bring us a slideshow, a PowerPoint presentation, and talk us to death. That training video was going to be about 30 minutes. We ended up shooting 4 15-minute training videos that were in 3 different languages, a orientation that's in 3 different languages, and a employment video that's in 3 different languages. So I took that one video idea that was probably like $2,500, and I spread it where it was probably ended up playing probably close to like 20,000. If not a little bit more, like 20, I think it was like 24.5, something like that, once we finished. But it solved their problems. And they were even hesitant to take it to their boss. And when they took it to their boss was like, hell yeah, that's a great idea. Let's go. What are y'all waiting on? Like, y'all was scared, like y'all took y'all this long to bring me this. This is excellent. But I learned that by understanding what their pain point was, and not just going with the fact that they needed a training video. Okay, let's shoot it. Let's go. So with that, I not only created a customer for life, I took my billing price up 10x. And guess what? 6 months later, they wanted to make changes to it. So we shot some stuff and added stuff to it. You know what I'm saying? Like over time, little things change. And we created content for the small changes. They end up getting a contract that was in a stadium. So we end up creating a whole new set. Like, we want to take this format and do it for this. We got the airport format. We want to do the same thing for the contract we just got. I think it was like Ranger Stadium or something. So we redid everything. 3 employment videos, or 1 video, 3 voiceovers. Orientation videos, 1 video, 3 voiceovers. And then we did 2 training videos, but they all had 3 different voiceovers. So each one I was able to get that client who would have just had that one video that wouldn't have did much. They would have forgot about us. It would have failed miserably. The person who hired me, who don't want to get that smoke from his boss, would have probably blamed it on us, not to our face, but like, oh, maybe we'll go to a different company, we'll have better results, and they would have went somewhere else. But instead, we end up getting a client for life that probably get videos from us twice a year, and they spending $20,000, $15,000, $10,000 twice a year with us, minimum. So simply by taking a different approach and really asking, more questions about why they think they need it. And I don't never tell the client, why do you think you need a video? Because they'll be like, you know what, we probably don't, peace. But what is the cause of, the video? And from that, you build it out. Now, what makes things great is if you have the data to support your opinion, right? You got testimonials and case studies, and you got previous clients or beta clients to support why you feel we need to go in this direction, right? Because a client gonna say, man, this is a whole lot more than we thought, money wise. Like, yeah, I can go back, because in their mind, it's not their money. They're like, I can go back to the boss and fight for this, but I don't understand why I should. But if you got case studies and you got previous clients that can kind of break things down or provide, what's the word I'm looking for? Not substance, but provide proof that what you're saying is true, they'll go back and do it in a heartbeat. Especially if you got, like, if one of the testimonials is from anybody that's even close to being one of their competitors, it's a no-brainer. It is a no-brainer. You can go to Coca-Cola with an idea and show a video of how it has helped RC Cola go up 2%, and Coca-Cola will double down on it. Like, you did that for them? Oh yeah, we're gonna double that. We can't have anything like that. Will make the competitors' blood boil, and they will be like, if you've helped increase them, we definitely want it. Because they kind of feel like you're gonna have some inside track to that company, which I don't. Snitches get stitches, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a selling point that'll ignite their competitive, what I'm saying, their competitive idea. Frozen is on you, bro.
Now, say you don't have any case studies or testimonials. How would you then, say you're trying to sell your services to a client, but you don't have anything to show for it? How would you then start the conversation?
You're gonna have to be a slick talker, bro. I mean, this is why I preach beta clients, right? This is why I say you got to get that beta. That beta client is going to take your pockets to the next level, and this is why I tell you, it's not just about the video clips you get. If you just getting video from a client that you beta testing and you creating a product for, you've done yourself a disservice. You got to get the whole package from that client. You got to get the footage. You got to help them. You got to have them explain to you what their daily problems are so that you can create a product that works. You got to get a testimonial from them. You may get multiple little testimonials. I done got 20 minutes worth of testimonials from a client, and I'll use 60 seconds for this, 60 seconds for that. I'll use 60 seconds of what they saying to cover the headshot portion of my website, and then 60 seconds of what they saying to cover the video portion. You know what I'm saying? Or anything. They said something about drones. We'll use 20 seconds of this in our drone. That's why you have to build it with that beta client, because it makes it a whole lot easier. And when you simplify it and go niche, so not only do you got 3 beta clients that's giving you testimonials and information to help you hit this one niche out of the park, by the time you walk in there with a client, you have a ton of ammunition compared to the average videographer that's doing everything with everybody and don't have proof of nothing direct other than his ability to capture a great image. That is how you take over the game. Like, that is, y'all say dropping gems. That is the gem that will take your business over the top, that a lot of people just don't think of. Like, they don't put that together. And it's just a cheat code. Like, it is a straight up cheat code. Having beta testers is a straight up cheat code. Back in the day, we used to have the Game Genie. I don't even know if y'all remember the Game Genie, but it is the Game Genie of, content creation. You know what I'm saying? Where it can just, it's up, down, left, right, BA select start. Back in the day, if you know what I'm talking about, that's what it is for your business. And a lot of people script that. And they go straight to give me the bag. I'm trying to get the bread. When there's a way to be like, there's a way to really secure the bag, and go in with all the ammo you need.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, create it.
I think just something that I have had from experience as far as like, first of all, hope everybody's doing good. What it do? And okay, so just from experiences and hopefully this will help you also, Frozen. As far as like how to like get these people to say yes to us. Back in the day, I used to work for Dish Network as a customer service rep. And one of the things that they taught us, like for retention, I ended up going to a lead position in the retention uh, department, right? So I was the lead retention agent. So people would call in to cancel, and then my job was basically to get them to stay. And one of the things that I learned from those customer service jobs, it was that it's called the law of average.
Mhm.
And it's you will get so many no's, but if you build the process, or if you go into not a process, but eventually you will get that yes. So if we apply that to like our industry, or in where we are at to get those beta clients, we literally have to go out there and just start getting them no's until we build, or we start seeing where we are messing up in our pitches, like what are we saying wrong, and then we look back and we listen to ourselves, be like, okay, this is where I probably messed up, or I shouldn't have said this to this client, and then we can start like just basically building up, and you will eventually start building up some sort of pitch to them, just by us going there. Like and I mean, this is just from experience. I kind of have a little bit of a pitch for me what to say, and I got in some no's, and from that I got in some yes, and but I still need to build it to and perfect it, especially now that now actually today I got my business cards. I'm waiting for my Queensboro shirts, but I'm gonna get back out there, and I don't know if maybe Ty can get me with this. It's like maybe guide me with whether that is right or wrong, or anybody in the chat to see maybe I'm saying something right, something wrong. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Oh, you definitely saying something right, bro. You definitely saying something right. I tell people all the time, we used to have a saying called "Go for the no," right? Where you disqualify people and you practice your pitch. Go for the no, because a lot of people are gonna waste your time. I got a video coming next week talk about how to tell if more ways to tell if they're not buying. Go for the no, and practice your pitch, and you'll understand it's a game of numbers. Listen, and we're gonna go dating analogy on it, because naturally guys understand it's a game of numbers. You're gonna go to the club like, what up, hey, let me holler. Okay, screw you. Let me how about your girl? Hey, you looking like, okay, yeah, okay, screw you. Hey, we do that all day. It's life for us, right? Men are just, we understand that rejection is a part of life until we get to sales, and then we want to be like, oh, I don't know, man, maybe nah. I'm gonna holler at you. You looking funny? Okay, screw you. Your girl over here, I'm gonna holler at her. Hey, what's up? You got a man? Okay. What about? I'm gonna go through a whole table, bro. I'm that guy, bro. I used to be that guy. I'm gonna get everybody number in the car. I'm gonna call all y'all. It's on y'all to see who make it and who don't. I'm just that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's a game of numbers, bro. And business is the same way. It's a game of numbers. So, you just gotta, you're gonna get good to the point where it's just like game. Your game gonna get better, right? You're gonna know what to say and what not to say. A beta tester is literally a big sister that's like, don't go say this to these girls. That's gonna make you look bad. Say this. That's all a beta tester is, right? And you just really, okay, yeah, don't do that. Don't wear them shoes. Them shoes are terrible. Like, don't wear, you put too much cologne. Is that Jupe? Don't ever wear Jupe again. Don't do it. Go get you some better cologne. Y'all remember Jupe? Go get you some better cologne. Don't wear that cologne. But
get some other Car Noir.
Let's get you something better. Yeah, get you some cool water. Don't be wearing that Axe spray. You wearing too much Axe. Don't do that. You go in there, like you got a big sister, they're going to tell you a beta tester is going to do the same thing. A beta tester is going to set you up for success. Because a beta tester, like just like your big sister is telling you, man, when I was in the 6th grade, like you is, I really was looking for this and looking for that, and this is what I like to do. You're like, bet, okay, big sis, I'm gonna go do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what a beta tester does for your business. And you need somebody to look at you and give you that advice sometimes, because you have an idea of how the world works, and it can be different from what another person or a business owner, their view is when it comes to the same product. You know what I'm saying? It comes to the same product. We all buy the same product, but for different reasons. You may buy a potato for salad. I may buy a potato for chips or for fries. That's just how it works. It's on you, Creative.
I actually, like, I've been thinking about this like all week, and it's something that happened earlier. I think it was Sunday night. I'm like, I'm gonna have to say this to the Goal Members group, and it dawned on me how much presentation means a lot. Because let's say for the past 3 weeks, my cousin, he lost his job, and he has bills just like everybody else. He's under pressure, and I'm like telling him, hey, what have you been doing to get a job, bro? Like, he said, well, I'm just kind of just going over friends and family, to see, my homies, if they got like an opening at their job and stuff like that. And I'm like, bro, but like, when you go to Craigslist, there's all kinds of things that right there. Do you have your resume on point? And he said, no. And said, okay, well, we have to do your resume. So we literally sat down Sunday. I helped him build the resume. We made like I was like, what is your email? He said, it's g34street@gmail.com. And I'm like, bro, like that's your gangbanging, like that's your gangbanging block, bro. Like ain't nobody gonna email you back with that. So we're like, we're gonna make one with your name and at least just the Gmail, but it's gonna say your name. Try to get as close as your name, and then work 2020. Mm-hmm. Basically, we structure this new persona for him to get a new job. He literally got a job within 3 days. I told him what to do and what to do, how to do it. Just reply, copy paste to everybody on all the companies on Craigslist. And when I was explaining to him, it literally hit me as far as how we supposed to be presentable to either beta testers or all of these clients. I was like, we need to have our website. We need to have our resume is basically our demo reel. We need to have our what's it called? Our business cards. Everything needs to be set in point, and it dawned so much on me. And when I saw the results of my cousin getting a job within 2 days, him struggling to get a job in those 3 days, and me having this knowledge of as far as like how I obtain work before, like, or when I would lose a job or whatever, set him up, did all those steps, follow it, and him getting a job within 3 days with a job that pays $25 an hour. I was like, Jesus. And then he just thought of me. So it's like, yes, everything that Ty, and thank you, and I'm so grateful, everything that you're telling us is the structure that is in place in corporate and professionalism. That if it wasn't for you to open up our eyes or to tell us all this, I'm so grateful for it. And I'm pretty sure that if we follow those steps, it will work. It will work.
Well, 100% facts, bro. 100% facts. That is it right there. Like I got goosebumps just listening to it. That is absolutely it. As you build it, as you work on that presence, as you work on the way your brand look, that pay will go up, the response rates will go up, everything. Your whole life will change based on you changing just your appearance and how you approach people. That's why I preach brand over person. Don't go to somebody and be Johnny the photographer. Be, Creative Creations or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's all of that is completely in line with the whole idea. So That is correct. Got the
Look
business
at this
cards.
box.
I see the red in the middle. Yeah,
Look at that box.
that boy look good. That's what I'm talking about.
Look at
That's
it.
what I like to see, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to see. You got the case for it. Let me see one. Yeah, okay. That, you went with the vertical.
What up?
The
Let's
vertical.
see.
The look. Just going vertical. I like the case right there. Just going vertical, just like that, will just change people when they got to flip it and they like, wait a minute. That's what I'm talking about. That card looks good.
Nice.
Where you get it from?
I got it from gotprints.com.
Yeah, Got Prints. Got Prints is a good one. Cheap Prints, Got Prints. They
This
both
is
very inexpensive.
How about Boo?
38 stack, 38 point.
Yep. Moo
And
is really
it was $65 for 1,000.
yeah. Moo is really expensive.
It was 1,000. Oh yeah, movies expensive. That's some classy shit. But yeah, that's that case.
That case
They
look
fit
good.
only
man.
like
Yeah,
it's a case for 25, but I can only fit 5 of them.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I keep a whole box in the truck so I can refill every time. But I
Nice.
keep a case with it's just
But,
all about preaching. It's a bunch of little things that
But
will.
I designed this one. This whole thing.
Mm.
This is not a template. I designed the logo myself. The background,
Nice.
I designed it myself. This is not a template.
I used to when you said it about the email. I used to work at Career Builder some years ago, and you would be surprised at how many people would call in applying for a job, and it was just the weirdest emails. Backbreaker 2050 and Sally slippery when wet at Gmail. You'd be like,
Oh,
Yeah,
serious.
yeah.
come on.
Lucy Luscious Lips. #1 drider at gmail.com. You'd be like,
Stop.
serious. I'm serious. I was a lot. You'd be like, God. And I used to be a dick. I used to be like, can you say that again?
See?
Spell it. What's that email address? #1 drider at gmail. You said #1 drider. RYDER or RYDE. Thank you. Okay. And I
You're
would be
wrong.
like,
You so wrong.
because them emails would be terrible. 10-inch time, and you'd be like, what? This lady came in one time. Her name was Sandpaper Susie, and I was like, ma'am, I don't even want to know how you got that name. I hope you're in the home improvement, but we're gonna skip to why you called. We're gonna go straight to it.
You
It was
said that?
terrible. Yeah. I would mess with people all the time. And what's funny is I was cool with a guy that was a moderator, and he would listen and record. And I had like a little term I would say, and that means give me this recording. Like I would be like, okay, if I say like thank you. Like if I say it 3 times, he know to pull it and then email it to me. He would always do. I'd be like, okay, well, Sandpaper Susie. Okay, thank you. And I would go with the call, and he would pull it. I got a few of them saved. I'll have to share them. I had one lady call about being a cat food cook, and I was like, ma'am, are you cooking cats or cooking food for the cats? I need to know. She was like, I can't find it. It was crazy, but I'll share that with you. Remind me, I'll share that with you later.
Please
But
do.
with that being said, I got to get ready to wrap. I even went 30 minutes over, but I wanted to make sure. Let me make sure I get GMO because he just jumped on late and didn't have a chance to really jump on. So I wanted to make sure if you had a question real quick before we wrapped, anybody had any quick questions to give you a chance to jump on.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. So I'm in the middle of pretty much remodeling my brand, and I started as a freelancer pretty much, and I just started to get more commercial photography, right? So I'm trying to find a niche, but I feels like every time that that I'm trying to find a niche that I want to focus on, I get inquiries from different niches. So then it's harder for me to give it a price that brings value because I don't have anything to give to them. Does that make any sense?
That makes sense.
So
yeah, that make a lot of sense.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, so yeah, I have this guy. He's one of my, my best friends. He's a personal trainer, so I always, create content for him, and that's how I got into the idea of starting to create content for more of like businesses, just because it's what pays. Personal photography doesn't really pay just because people want everything for free. So, you know, he has a decent, a decent network that people, you know, go to him and, you know, train. And, you know, they always see us taking pictures and stuff. And every time that, you know, every time we finish taking pictures, you know, one of them either comes to me and asks me like, hey, you know, what can you do for us? You know, like, do you have packages? And, you know, at the end of the day, I'm going to say yes. But, you know, once I get home, it's like, you know, I would want to price it at the price that I want to, because, you know, I know my work and I know, you know, how much my work is worth. But, you know, I've been watching your videos and, you know, I hear you say all the time that, you know, value is more important than quality.
Yep.
So, you know, I'm kind of just stuck in that situation to where, you know, I want to be able to price it at my price, but I don't know how to provide value to them. And I don't want to use them as a beta tester because, you know, I want to be able to get paid for the job. So, you know, it's kind of like a weird
We lost him.
situation.
It's like a catch-22.
Yeah.
This is the thing, right? One thing you have to realize is this: great content to the wrong niche is almost worthless, right? Truck
Yeah.
tires to a Camaro is of no value, or not as great as it should be, value wise. If you really want to focus on that niche, I mean, listen, first of all, that going in that direction could be an opportunity that is there. Like it could be something that you may not have been interested in, and bam, it land on your lap. And if you decide to go in that direction, you may have, you know, a variety or a long list of people that are waiting because of that networking opportunity. So that could be an option for a niche to go in, or you can create a separate brand to take advantage of that. But if that's not what you want to do, at some point you're gonna have to say, nah, I'm just, hey, you know, we just don't provide that. Let me point you in a direction of somebody that does. Like my family come to me for family portraits all day and night, and they're willing to spend money, but it's not what I do. Let me refer you to a photographer that does it. And you got to just, you know what I'm saying? You got to just let it go. Because when you start getting bread in your niche, when you start getting them big ticket items, you're going to be skipping over all that little stuff that called you just because you were available. And it takes you tasting a few of them big ticket items to be like, all right, I'm not doing that. That's not what I do. My bad, Michael. Go for it.
But then this is where what GMO said is exactly what I'm going through right now. I don't want to do beta testing. I have some beta testers, but now I've been getting a lot of inquiries that are not my niche. But the problem I'm having is I will provide them content, but it's not in my niche.
Then I wouldn't beta test them. I
Okay.
wouldn't beta. They offer no value to you. They, you know what I'm saying? That's like somebody who is saying, "Hey man, we want you to try these off-road tires. I got a Corvette. If you give it to me, it's not helping me." Like, you know what I'm saying? So you have to be careful of that, because there are a lot of people that want free content, and they want to be a beta tester, but they can't provide you with what you need back to grow your brand. My bad, GMO, go for it.
So, you know, okay, so I'm not saying it's not within my niche, because what I want to focus on is pretty much just providing content, you know, promotional content for brands, you know, for smaller business, you know, startups. You know, I want to be able to elevate their social presence. You know, that's what I want to focus on, and I want to be able to do it through, you know, digital. But,
But
you know,
I would encourage you to go one layer deeper.
okay.
So provide that for one specific audience. Provide that for doctor's offices. Provide that for gyms and workout. Don't do it for everybody, because it's hard to be an expert at that. Because what it takes to start up a restaurant is completely different than what it takes to start up a dog groomer. It's hard to go in there as the expert if you haven't worked in that industry, or specifically in that industry.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you got to say no to the other guys, but Olive Garden sell a whole lot of cheeseburgers and chicken tenders, but they cater to Italian people who want Italian
Yeah.
food. They're not going to turn you down if you want chicken tenders. I know some people that think that Olive Garden chicken tenders are the best. I don't feel that way. I go there for the pasta.
Yeah, that's my
But
favorite restaurant.
that's what I'm saying. But build it for Italian lovers and those who eat Italian. and you can still sell your cheeseburgers. You know what I'm saying? They probably do a couple 100,000 a year, probably millions in cheeseburgers. But it's built for Italian restaurants, for people who love Italian. I'm gonna say Italian restaurants, for people who love Italian. So that's you know, you got to look at it. You make sure you go 2 layers deep. Startup videos is great, but then go into an industry, because it's important to be able to go in and talk that lingo with doctors or whatever industry you go in. If it's you doing dog grooming, you got to know the difference between a Dalmatian and a Great Dane. You got to be able to talk to them so that they can know you are an expert in that industry. It's difficult to do in every industry, and that's where you could say the wrong thing and they're like, this guy don't know what he's talking about. And you have completely fell on your sword when you got real close to getting a big payday, because they just feel like you've taken your car somewhere and you're like, this mechanic don't know what he's talking about. I need an engine drop. I got $5,000 I'm about to spend on it. And you talking about mufflers, bro. Okay. We'll call you. We'll figure, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be in that situation. And being an expert in an industry will help you avoid that, and you'll be able to you'll be able to be more successful because you know how the industry runs. You know what I'm saying? If you've been shooting any type of video, you know what Marvin say, adult videos, you know what works for adult videos that don't work for kids cartoons. It's a completely different industry. They both still create content. They both shoot a lot. It's both video. It's weird to compare the two, but don't judge me. But I'm just saying it's a completely different audience both ways. And if you've been in one industry for a long time, you know what works and what don't. You know what I'm saying? So it helps to have be an expert in that industry. With that, I'm gonna get ready to wrap. Brian came on last. I'm gonna give Brian an opportunity to ask a question real quick because he came on last, and then I gotta run.
Hey, appreciate it. What's up, fellas? Hope everybody's doing good, man. Yeah. So when it comes to when you follow up with a client after you send a proposal, like, what do you say in that follow up? Like, and how do you follow up with them? As far as like, do you email them? Do you call them? Like, what's your form of communication, and what do you say? Does it have to be in detail or just something like, "Hey, what's up? Where you been at? You been ghost?" Like, how does that work?
Okay, so what I usually do is after I get the questionnaire and I talk to the client to set up, as I'm getting the information I need to write the proposal, I'm setting up a follow up date and time at the time of when we're sitting down, we're talking. So I know that I'm writing up a proposal to you that I'm gonna get to you today by 8. And then I'm gonna call you back. We're gonna set up a time to talk Tuesday at 4. Does that work for you? Yes, Tuesday at 4 works for you. Cool. And because that applies some pressure on them to look at the proposal, understand it, and be ready. I know if that client ducks that call, they're wasting my time. If they don't say, "Hey, I got a meeting. Can we do it Wednesday?" Yes, but if they're not available, it's an issue, because this is a pain point. This is a problem that they have. I am here to put out a fire. If I was the fire department, you wouldn't duck me. And I want clients that has major problems. They got burning points. They got pain points. They ready to do this. I don't want people where it's like, maybe, well, and those are things you're going to find out in the initial consultation. How soon do you need this done? Man, we need this video shot. We need it done by the 30th. Cool. So when I set this date to call you back, you should be ready to go. So usually when that, you don't want to do a waiting game. You don't want to leave that open, because you leave it up to the client who is out there and doing whatever. Even if they're shopping other people, you got 2 days to shop everybody else. After that, you know what I'm saying? You're saying you need it by the 30th, and I try to make it seem like, hey, we need an adequate amount of time so that we can do this project right. We don't want to rush it. We need the rest of the month to get it to you by the 30th. So I set up that call back that date, and when I call them back, I make sure they've had a chance to look over it. My first question is usually, do you have any questions about the proposal? Is there anything we can answer about the proposal? If not, let's move forward. Because if they haven't signed it and sent it back to you, they have questions. They have objections you need to overcome. And my job is to unbury those objections. What's the problem? What's up? That's why I like Proposalify, because Proposalify tell me what pages they stayed on when they were looking at that proposal. Proposalify told me they spent 48% of the time on the budget and not in the contracts, or not looking at what they were getting. So I know money is an issue. So I can be prepared mentally to go on this call and say, okay, we got to look at some money things. So what I'm thinking is when it's money is I need to itemize more. I need to break down more of what they're getting so that they can see more value in the cost. And sometimes I go in there doing that because it will allow them where if they don't have the money and we're talking about things that are itemized, instead of saying no, they can say, you know what? I think we're not going to go with the makeup artist. I think we're going to take that off. I think we're going to do without the teleprompter. I think we're going to, and it eliminates I'm going to say it eliminates, but it lowers the chances of them flat out saying no, we're not going to do this. Instead of, and you want people to say, let's remove this, let's take this off, because you can find out then like, why you don't want to do a teleprompter? Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, it's a money issue. If it's a money issue, then I can suggest other areas to be flexible in. Hey, instead of doing 4 2-minute videos, let's just do 3. We can come back later and re-edit that last one, the next fiscal year when new budgets open up. Or sometimes companies got budgets per month. Hey, let's just move this to next month. We can do this at a later time. So once you learn what the issue is based off one cheat code is what they're looking at on the proposal, and 2, you being prepared to get on the phone and overcome them objections, you'll be able to close that sale. And that just comes with closing sales in general. It's just something you'll get. And another key thing I want to make sure I push, when you live within a niche, you can always pull from that as a reason to overcome that objection. Hey, we really don't got the budget, it's a little bit more that we want to spend. Hey, you know what? We worked with another pet grooming place and they felt the same way. However, the return on investment that we were able to provide them by shooting 4 videos instead of 3 greatly, they made a ton more money back than what they thought they were, or greatly improved their whatever the problem was, whatever the issue was. It greatly improved their ability to bring more clients in the store. It greatly improved their ability to get more leads in a way that next time we shot videos, they tripled what they did before. So I can understand where it may seem like it's a little bit more than you guys want to spend, but given the environment of COVID and what's going on right now, we would highly suggest that you do at least this much so that, you can insert whatever solution to their problem is. You know what I'm saying? And you want to make it clear. Listen, I'm very upfront about the fact that with my clients, I want to help you often. I don't want to shoot a video for you and be done. My goal is to make you make enough money off this video where you call me to do 10 more videos. That's my goal, and that's what I'm trying to do with this project. I don't care if it's training. I don't care what it is. I make it clear that our goal is to make sure that there is a return on investment so that you can do 10 more. And you're making good money off of it. So if you go into it talking like that, even if you don't say that directly, if you go into it with the idea of return off investment, they will find a way to pay whatever you're asking. But you better be able to deliver. And living in that niche, seeing this stuff over and over again, you should be able to by customer 3 or 4. That's why it's so important to get as narrow as possible in that niche. Because if you're only working with a very specific group of people, you're going to see it over and over again. If you only date a certain type of girl, if you date a chick from the hood, her mind going to be blown when you get the Red Lobster and they bring out them cheddar biscuits. She going to be like, wow. You like, they all fall for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a way you get real. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you date, if you date a certain type of person, you know where you can take them and just mind blown. Like, wow. And you sitting here like, this ain't nothing, but I know you would fall for this. We good. You know what I'm saying? Right. They, but it's just when you work with the same type of person, your ideal target customer is the same, your success rate will increase because you've been here before, you're experienced. When you're working with somebody different every time, it's very difficult to be successful. It's very difficult to be successful. That's why, like on NBA and baseball, it's hard to beat the same team 4 times. It's hard because they make adjustments. Every time they make adjustments, you got to make adjustments for their adjustments. And if you're seeing the same opponent over and over again, you will become successful a whole lot faster than if you're just trying to service everybody. So it's something that I kind of drill and push because it is a key component to being successful compared to me just saying, You got to market and go out there and get a better camera and take better pictures. Screw that. Find out who your target audience is and get better at beating them over and over again. So it's something you definitely want to do. But with that, I'm gonna get ready to wrap. We gonna, usually with the gold members, y'all know I go 2-3 hours on this thing, ain't a thing. But tonight I gotta run. I'm actually about 45 minutes late, but it's all good. I'm glad. If you were able to learn something from this, if you got a jewel out of this somewhere, man, I'm glad I was able to help you. Created in 84, man. I love this story. It is a great story, and those are aha moments. Those are moments where it clicks, and it's important as business owners, as CEOs and entrepreneurs, we have those moments because it's just about pulling your brain back from being, consumers, and it start to make sense. And when it start to make sense, that's when your pockets start to make sense. And those cents turn into dollars, and those dollars turn into tens, and them tens turn into 20s. You get what I'm saying? But,
Yes, sir.
The goal is to have those moments where you like, okay, I see it now. And it took me some time to get it. It didn't happen overnight for me. It took me a lot of books, a lot of trial and error, thousands of dollars. It took me getting title loans and credit max and credit cards and all kind of stuff. I'm not going to tell you it was perfect and it was just work for me. It didn't. I had to learn how to conquer that same person. I had to eliminate all of my enemies until I focused on one, and then learn how to conquer that one over and over again before I understood how the game worked. So, with that being said, I will see you guys. I got some videos that'll pop up probably between now and Tuesday because I'm trying to roll out more. We were gonna probably start doing pre-orders for the master course to get that popping and get that up. Because that's kind of in the final stages, and I want to make sure I let gold members know before. Another quick thing I want to say before we get off, make sure you're on the community tab in the YouTube page, because the gold member discount code is going to start to change monthly. That way, if you wasn't a gold member in January and you try to get it'd be different. So just keep that in mind if you try to use it and you're like, oh man, it didn't work for me. You ain't kicked out. I still got love for you. It's just you got to make sure you go to the community tab. I can't post it in Facebook because there isn't a way for me to determine who's active gold and who's not on Facebook. Even if I started a private group, I just don't have the time to be comparing screen names to real names and be kicking people out. It's just at this point, I'm not there yet, bro. FlashFilm Academy is not super profitable for me yet. It's enough where I can just take this $20 and put it right back in. FlashFilm Media is still paying the bills, so I got to give it a certain amount of time. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys for jumping on, man. I would usually sit back and chop it up with y'all, man, but I gotta run, and y'all stay safe, and I will see y'all in the next live.
Thanks, man.
We appreciate
you.
Be safe. Everybody take care.
Much love to y'all. Will do.